In response to Jeremy Jahns, who believes that there are two types of people, those who prefer Alien and those who prefer Aliens, I would have to go with Aliens, but only by a very slim margin and for a couple of specific reasons. In Aliens, Ripley, Sigourney Weaver, is awoken from stasis 57 years after the events of the first film. Much has changed during her deep sleep. LV-426, the planet where the Nostromo crew discovered the alien, has been colonized and is in the process of being terraformed. When the company loses contact with the settlement, Ripley is hired as an advisor for a team of Marines sent to investigate the blackout. Ripley expects the worst, and she is soon proven right. The colony has been overrun by the aliens, and the Marines are soon fighting for their lives against hundreds of the monsters. Alien and Aliens are both excellent science fiction films with strong performances, realistic dialogue, fun, diverse characters, heavy suspense, and disquieting imagery. But since they are carved from different molds, with Alien being a straight horror film and Aliens being more of an action movie, it is rather difficult to compare them. Still, there are a few elements of Aliens that surpass those in Alien. Aliens has a faster pace than Alien, but that's not to say that Alien's slow pacing is a bad thing. Alien is consistently compelling from beginning to end, and good horror films typically have slower, subtler, more foreboding pacing than action movies. Once again, Alien and Aliens work very differently to bring the scares, since they're from different genres, but I will say that the situation in Aliens feels more dire and urgent. The physical threat of the alien is magnified by dozens, and there is a ticking clock imposed by the atmospheric processing plant, which will detonate in less than 4 hours. The cool, pulse-pounding action scenes also successfully convey how the Marines, despite their training and firepower, are outnumbered and overwhelmed against the aliens. These pressing stakes allow you to invest yourself further in the film's events, whereas Alien feels constrained and less urgent in comparison. Aliens undeniably has a far better, more personal dynamic between Ripley and the other characters. The Nostromo crew never really had more than a colleague-type working relationship with each other, except for Parker and Brett, who were clearly friends, but the greater interactions within Alien's large cast allows for several satisfying subplots to form and develop. These include Ripley taking charge after the aliens' attack, her warming up to Corporal Hicks, Michael Biehn, overcoming her prejudice against androids like Bishop, Lance Henriksen, and showing a strong maternal care for the little girl Newt, Carrie Henn, the colony's only survivor. Indeed, Ripley's bond with Newt allows the film's central theme of motherhood to emerge. These plot threads never get in the way of the action and instead make it richer and more impactful by having us care deeply for the complex characters. Aliens is one of the most engaging sci-fi action movies out there due to its sincere, emotional, and well-played drama. Aliens is also more interesting than its predecessor because of how it expands Alien's universe. The company is much more prominent in Aliens. The smarmy Burke, Paul Reiser, is a more explicit company representative than the secretive Ash, and we catch glimpses of their industrial exploits, such as the Gateway Station and their atmospheric processing plants on LV-426, and their bureaucracy in the form of Ripley's trial. We also find out more about the aliens. It turns out that they live in hive societies, much like ants and bees, and they serve a mighty, formidable queen. The alien queen is the other side of the film's focus on motherhood, and is, on some level, an intriguing reversal of Ripley's role. The Queen and Ripley are both mother figures. Ripley acts as a mother for Newt, and the Queen lays eggs to create new aliens. They are both very protective of their young. Ripley utters the famous line,
"Get away from her, you bitch!"
when the Queen tries to kill Newt, and in turn, the Queen screeches in fury when Ripley torches her eggs. But while Ripley is sensitive and nurturing, the alien Queen is hostile and destructive. Essentially, in the context of motherhood, Ripley is fighting an evil version of herself. The Alien Queen is an awesomely terrifying creation by director James Cameron and Stan Winston's special effects company. The Queen has a sinister, almost regal presence as it towers over Ripley and commands the rest of the hive from an organic throne, not to mention its crown-like crest. But the scariest thing about the Alien Queen is not its enormous size, its aggression and rasping, hissing breathing, but its sense of cold, menacing intelligence. This is an alien which can think and solve problems, which makes it much more threatening. The Alien Queen is also a phenomenally lifelike work of puppetry and engineering. CGI has the potential to look as good as live action, and I'm not one of those people who thinks that practical effects will always look better than CGI, but the elaborate Alien Queen puppet still looks better than most of the CGI produced by modern Hollywood. This brings me to the improved production values in Aliens. Everything from the ship models and props to the more functional-looking sets, alien costumes and explosions look much more polished and realistic than they did in Alien. I also like how Aliens defies the preconceptions some viewers would have taken from Alien to its sequel. In the climax, we see the android Bishop in a similarly ruined, broken state to Ash in the first film, but instead of being a traitorous villain, Bishop heroically tries to save Newt from being blown out into space. The scene of Bishop being impaled in the chest by the Queen's tail is also more than slightly reminiscent of the chestburster scene, though it's arguably more shocking because it happens with virtually no warning. The space jockey in the first film presumably presided over the vault of eggs in his ship and is now dead and mummified. The Queen is also a guardian of eggs and sits on her own pedestal, but she is very much alive and angry. Ultimately, Alien and Aliens are both outstanding movies, but in terms of its better production quality, expanded world, more urgent, pressing conflict, and its stronger drama due to the better dynamic between its characters, Aliens is the superior film. Aliens, directed by James Cameron, earns 4.5 stars out of 5. Thanks for watching. Cheers.